Alright, what's going on, guys? So we are officially done with the launch weekend for Black Ops 7. I'm making this video on Monday morning. I just wanted to give some initial thoughts on the game. This isn't going to be my official, in-depth review. I'm going to make that this weekend after I get my 100 hours in. I still have some stuff I want to try out and do before I make that video. That one's going to be super long. This video shouldn't be too long. We'll see. For this, I just want to kind of touch on some of the more important topics on the game right now within the community. There seems to be a lot of debates going on about the skill-based matchmaking situation and the aim assist and all that type of stuff. So first of all, quickly, as far as the actual game is concerned itself, I do like the actual game. Forget about all the outside factors like, the matchmaking and all that. I do think the actual game of Black Ops 7 is an above average Call of Duty. I'm not going to pretend it's the greatest COD we've ever had or anything like that, but at the same time, it's definitely not the worst COD we've had. I can say that clearly. We've had a lot worse than this. It's pretty AR heavy at the moment, which, I like using AR, so, that's cool with me, but even I have to agree, they probably need to buff some of the SMGs. It's pretty obvious whenever you play a match and almost nobody in the lobby is using an SMG. People will only use the Dravic, and that's only because the Dravic almost feels like a SMG AR hybrid. It doesn't even play like a true SMG, so I don't know. It's kind of AR heavy. They're probably going to make some adjustments to that once they see all the data. We have some new original maps, obviously. I think they're decent, you know what I mean? There's only one or two maps in this game that I think are completely ass that I don't like. The rest are average to good. Obviously, we have the remasters with Raid and Express and all that. I think the maps are fine. I'm not blown away though, holy shit, this is actually a insane map. This is one of the best maps we've ever had. I don't feel like there's any maps like that. And then also, just a side note, because this is kind of a small thing, but I think this game is probably the best camo grind of any Call of Duty that we've had. There's so many different camos to grind for in this game. On top of the mastery camos, they now added in these prestige camos, which are basically, if you guys remember from back in the day, if you played Black Ops 2, you guys remember all those $2 camos we could buy back then? Nowadays, obviously, we got $30 bundles, but back in the day, believe it or not, they used to sell us $2 camos for your gun. It was a great time, but they brought all of those camos into this game as weapon prestige camos, and they're pretty cool. And there's a bunch of camos, so you don't even have to do the mastery stuff if you don't want. You can just go for the weapon prestige camos, which is what I'll probably end up doing because it's way easier to get and it's still a really cool camo, and you don't got to go use the launchers and all that annoying stuff. So I'll probably just end up doing that. But anyways, that's just a small side note. I just wanted to point that out because I thought it was a pretty good thing that they did, and hopefully we can continue that in future CODs. Probably not, but we can hope. So anyways, that's just some very general thoughts on the game. I want to talk about the two most important things that need to be discussed. Let's start with the aim assist because this is pretty easy and pretty quick. So they did greatly reduce the aim assist in this game, specifically rotational, but just aim assist in general. Ace did a video testing it, and he basically confirmed that this game has the weakest aim assist in Call of Duty history. The lowest aim assist of any COD that we've ever had, including the old ones from Xbox 360 from back in the day. This game has lower aim assist than any other COD. I don't really know why anyone is mad about this. I think it's a good thing, right? That means if someone is actually snapping on you and gunning you and you're whoa, that was crazy, that's actually them. That's their skill doing that. You know what I mean? That's not the game. I've been saying this for years, but I know a lot of people have been saying this for years. Everyone just shoots crazy now. Everyone has just got the most insane gun skill because the game just aims for you. It makes it so easy. It had gotten to a point in ranked play where sometimes the aim assist was so good, you would think someone's hacking the way they killed you, but no, that's just the game. So I'm pretty happy about this change, man. Let's find out who's actually good at the game, man. Maybe if you're ass, I could see why you're upset. I'm 40 years old. If I can do it, I think anyone can do it, right? You know what I mean? Just get better, man. There's nothing to be upset about. So that's enough about the aim assist. The next topic, this is probably the whole rest of the video, all right? I'm going to try not to rant too crazy on this topic, but this is the number one topic of the game right now. Skill-based matchmaking. So very, very quickly, let me briefly set up the backstory here before we get into it, right? Just so we're all on the same page. I don't want there to be any confusion. I have a lot to say about this, but I want to make sure it's all factual. So let's start. About a month ago, the beta came out. Midway through the beta, they added a playlist called Open Matchmaking. Now, in this playlist, they said skill-based matchmaking is greatly reduced and skill is minimally considered. Now, a very key point about all of this from the beginning, they have never said it was zero skill-based matchmaking. They've never said it was getting completely taken out. They have always used the words minimal and reduced. That being said, in the beta, in my personal experience of playing the beta, the lobbies were insane. First of all, you would queue into a match in like 5 seconds. I'm not exaggerating. You would always play on a very low ping, and it was very obvious that the skill-based matchmaking was reduced, and you would actually get matched up against like bots a lot of the time. Like, I would run into people in the beta that were like 2 and 30 and they're getting nuked and like they don't know what they're doing on the map. You would never find people like that under normal circumstances, of course. So it was obvious that whatever they were doing in the beta, it was huge and it was actually working and it was great and everyone loved it, and we're like, holy shit, this is like the greatest thing they've done in Call of Duty in a very long time. Cool. The beta ends. Now we all have a very big question. Are they going to bring this matchmaking to the real game? Surprisingly, they say yes, we will have this open matchmaking system across all of Black Ops 7 on release. Now we fast forward about a week ago, a couple days before the release, they update it and they say, actually, we're going to have open matchmaking in the real game. However, we're also going to add a separate playlist where there is skill-based matchmaking. There will be one closed playlist. These playlists will be separated and labeled. Now, everyone thought that was a kind of weird thing to do 2 days before release, but you know, whatever, the game's about to come out. Let's see what's going on. So now we are here today, November 17th, 3 days after the release of the game. I have played, I don't know, over 100 matches of this game, right? I've played solo matches, I've played with a full party, I've played in a 2-man, a 3-stack, 4-stack, 5-stack, full party. I've done it all, right? I've tested the skill-based matchmaking on stream with a 2-box, without a 2-box. I've tried to join session. You know, we did all the testing on stream. I feel pretty qualified to speak on what exactly is going on here, right? Now, first of all, let me just state my overall opinion on what happened here, okay? There is open matchmaking in Black Ops 7, okay? Let's get that out of the way. Anyone saying that, oh, this is the exact same skill-based matchmaking that we've had for the last like 7 years or whatever, no, that is not true. If you feel like every single lobby you go in, like you can't do well in any lobby and everyone is a sweat, you're probably ass. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you that, man, but like, you should be doing well at least some of the time. There is definitely a difference in the matchmaking. The problem that I have, however, is that I don't think it's that crazy of a difference, right? Because there is still a baseline of skill-based matchmaking that is still in the game. It's just not, let's say, as crazy strong as it used to be. But in my opinion, right, this is my take. I do think it's open matchmaking, but I don't think it's as open as it was in the beta. It's a little bit stronger skill-based matchmaking than it was in the beta. I don't have the code. Maybe it's the same. I have considered that maybe it just feels that way because if you're comparing it to a beta, that was free. There were probably a bunch of casuals on that beta that don't play COD and have no idea what they're doing. So I will admit, there was probably a greater ratio of just absolute trash players on the beta as opposed to the real game where there's like way more hardcore like fans of COD who actually know how to play COD. So maybe that's the reason why I feel slightly differently about the matchmaking compared to the beta to the real game. But I will say, if you played the beta and you were having a good ass time, you were just shitting on every lobby you ran into, and you're like, holy shit, this is fun, like these guys are all ass, do not expect that exact same experience in the real game. Now, what is the reason for that? I don't know. I gave you 2 possible explanations, but it is an actual fact. I don't care what anyone says. I was getting way more trash players in the beta than I'm getting in the real game. Now, the explanation behind that, I don't know. That being said, there is still a difference, and it's still way better matchmaking than it used to be. I mean, the ping alone is a pretty big difference. Like, you still get put on low ping lobbies, you know, that is true. You still find a game fairly quick, but I have noticed from time to time it does take a little bit longer than it should if it was true open matchmaking. But just a recommendation for people that were thinking about getting this game. If you thought you were just going to get this game and like hop on pubs and chill out and go for camos and just like have fun or whatever and not have to try hard, that is not the case, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now, do not think that. I don't know what gameplay I'm going to use for this video. I have quite a few 100 plus kill games. It doesn't really matter because all the scoreboards are going to be pretty similar, and that's the point I'm trying to make here, right? So actually, you know what? Let me figure out exactly what gameplay I'm going to use, and I'm going to use the actual numbers from the scoreboard, and I think that will probably help me explain better like what I'm trying to say here. So okay, in this gameplay that you've been watching this whole time, I go 117 and 14. So pretty nice game. You know, I died a little bit more than I would like to, but not too bad. But now, as I go down this scoreboard, right, I want to just point some stuff out here, right? Because pretty much all my scoreboards are just like this. So it's a pretty constant theme, right? So I'm 117 and 14. I'm, you know, top of the lobby. There's one guy on my team who is 46 and 25. He's probably a pretty above average player, almost a 2 KD. Like, then we have a couple people on my team who are like 30 and 20. Those are probably like more like average players, you know what I mean? Considering all the factors, like, you know what I mean? Like, I got 100 kills. That means the other team is probably not that good. So that means like if you're only going 30 and 20, you're probably not that good either, right? You know, just kind of like breaking it down. And then there's one guy on my team who is 9 and 31. I don't know what he was doing on the map, but obviously he's not very good. But just the fact that there is a 9 and 31 kid on my team is important. But you can kind of just tell from looking at the scores on my team that it's all kind of mixed skill levels, right? Like I'm at the top, then we have another like pretty good player on the team, a couple average players, and then one like way below average player, right? Now, if we look at the other team, the guy on the top of their team is 35 and 39. Honestly, that guy's probably not even bad. He just happened to match up against me. And if I wasn't in this lobby, that guy that went 35 and 39, he probably would have gone like 50 and 30 or something, you know what I mean? Like, he just got a little bit unlucky with the matchmaking, right? The rest of their team, they got a couple guys that are like 30 and 30 or 20 and 30, pretty much equal to my team. And then they have one guy on the other team who is 16 and 43. That's like their below average player, right? So you can kind of just tell like it's a mixed variety of players in the lobby, right? Like there's like elite players, like that's me. Then we still have like some good players in the lobby, like these aren't bad players. Then we have like some average players. And then we got like some bots that like, I don't know what they're doing on the map. But like, it's a very mixed range of players. And that's basically what's happening here with this open playlist, right? So it still can be a fun time. The thing is, a lot of the times it does kind of feel like it used to feel. Like I'd say probably 50% of my games are still like pretty sweaty. So like you can tell it is open matchmaking. The point I'm just trying to make is like, yes, there is a difference, but don't get too excited about it. You know what I mean? Because 50% of my games are still pretty sweaty. You know what I mean? And like, you know, I'm still doing well in those games, but like it's just not that fun. You know what I mean? Like a normal sweaty lobby for me where like everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone's like trying hard. You know, I'd probably go like 60 and 30, you know, like, okay, I played a hard point. We won 250 to 200. It was a sweaty game. I went 60 and 30. I got my streaks like a couple times or whatever. The other team, like, they probably also have someone who's like 60 and 30, and then like most of the lobbies like 40 and 40, and like everyone's like sweating. Like, I don't personally find that to be a fun experience in pubs. Like, if I'm gonna go 60 and 30 and sweat out a hard point, that's ranked play. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just go play ranked and actually have a reason to do that. If I went 60 and 30 in ranked, like, that's a fun time. 60 and 30 in pubs, I'm kind of like annoyed. I don't know. That's just my personal thoughts on how I view it. Maybe some other people view it different. Maybe like going 60 and 30 and like sweating in a pub, maybe that's like a fun time for you. I just don't really find that fun. I'd rather play ranked if that's what we're going to do. But yeah, the main thing is, yes, there is open matchmaking, but don't get too excited, all right? It's not like full of all bots. You're not going to just load up the game and drop a nuke every game. Like, that's not how it is. But there is a difference. Think of that what you want. You know, decide if that's enough for you to play the game or not. But I just wanted to kind of clarify what exactly is going on with the matchmaking here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, man. Skill-based stuff aside, I do actually like the game itself, like the actual gameplay, I think it's solid. I think I'm gonna play a lot of rank play on this game. I think it'll be fun. We'll see though, you know, you never know. So y'all let me know your thoughts on the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, rating if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are not already, follow me on Twitter, links in the description down below. Check out my last video if you missed it. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.